a letter this morning. This is the way my letter read. I got a letter this morning. This is the way my letter read. Now you better come on home, Farmer John. You better come on home, Farmer John. Tell me your baby dead. Come on home. 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 Come
All right, I love that song, don't y'all? Hello, this is High Priestess Jamila. Y'all remember the movie that song came from? And it's very interesting because if y'all remember the skeleton key at the beginning of the movie, um the who's that I can't think of the name of the actress. She had no idea what she was walking herself into. But at the beginning of the movie, she worked in hospice, right? And so one of the patients had died, right? And so she came to, I guess, either one of the other nurses or either her head nurse and said, you know, so and so has passed away. And she was asking, she said, well, does he have any family? And she said, yeah, but they don't want anything to do with them. You know, and I got to tell you, um, she felt sorry for him. And if you notice, she felt sorry for that man without doing any investigation. And so what she did was she went through his belongings and actually saved one of his, you know, personal items to keep. And the personal item that she saved said, live fast, die young. And we all see what the hell happened to her, all of the misfortune that happened to her. So yeah, sometimes you got to not be so quick to feel sorry for people, especially unfortunately when it comes to these men. So what I want to talk about, because there's been some real foul ish going on in social media, and it's mainly with these people in social media. It's really weird. And so Spirit really wants to send out a message, not just to these males in social media that are practicing misogyny. Now, you good, Trinity? Because I wanted to come and do this real quick because I got some stuff I need to take care of. You good, honey? Um, because I'm just gonna say on here what I wanted to say over there. As a woman, you should not adapt to and conform to the practice of misogyny. Misogyny is a practice. It's a spirit, and it is causing a lot of rape and degradation and violence to women. And I don't know if other women feel as though they are somehow protecting themselves by participating in the practice of misogyny, but Spirit got a warning for them. You're not going to survive it either. And then, especially with the majority of the consciousness, there's a collective consciousness that understands this fully. Especially since yesterday's ICE shooting, where that lady was just literally just taken out. And I don't know, I couldn't really make out from the video. I only watched it once, but it's the practice of misogyny for some reason is happening a lot, and it's a huge mistake, and it literally it's almost like a witch hunt or a crusades. It's like a civil war against women and children. It's really very perplexing. So the collective consciousness actually is not on board with that. Okay. Now, also, there's not a collective consciousness to do harm to men. We just want peace and harmony on the earth. You know what I'm saying? But what I wanted to talk about is these weirdos in social media in particular. Okay. Now, we all know that either the weirdos are factually, while they come to social media, trying to violate women in social media, we know that they are violating every female and probably male in their real lives. Like, this is obvious, right? But the weirdness about bringing it in social media is I think that they are attempting to make it a norm. I think that they are attempting to normalize this type of behavior. But what I wanted to talk to you all about um, is how they are practicing this. And I wanted to speak to y'all about the statistics of my clients that have came across my desk, the alarming statistics of what happens to those men that sexually assault, especially when it comes to revenge porn. But revenge porn also is not limited to just sharing images of a woman in social media and violating her that way. But then also, you have to be careful about how you speak about a woman. First of all, it's very perverted for a male to go and start speaking to the community about a woman that he slept with. This is a violation within itself. Okay. Unless that woman is married, or something. But I think in even with those cases, I think that it's a violation of privacy, which is still a sexual assault. Okay, and we have men out here who are in their 40s and 50s that are sleeping with women in social media just so that they can try to use that as a point of abuse or discrediting a woman, just like they did in high school. So they're not very mature. But in particular, men that sexually assault, in particular, the men that threaten a woman's children, the statistics that I have seen happen to men that do that is either they end up in jail, very sick and in the hospital, or deceased. And this is not something that we even have to do. I mean, one of my clients, she had some crazy man threatening the lives of her children, told her he was going to murder her and her children. And all I did was protection. And he ended up in prison. He's still in prison to this day. One of my sisters, I ain't talked to her in a minute, but that man ended up in jail. Now, there's a lot of these men that are running around here calling upon these spirits, Psalms 40 and 104 and blah blah blah. You got to understand that goddesses like Hecate, La Santísima Muerta, Lilith, works totally against that. These men will violate, they will violate, hold on. Okay, they will violate, and then so basically they'll throw their hands and then hide them. They'll go and they'll try to call on this spirit of protection, even from the Bible. And I'm just going to say straight up and down that they're not protected. You can all day and night try to violate, and you know what, I think that they get confused because of all of the things that we hear about in the news, right? They hear about the horrible things that have happened to women. They hear about what some of these men do to women and their children. And they think, oh, I can get away with it. But in reality, those are just flukes. Seriously. In reality, what happens to those men is that they either end up in jail. The ones that don't end up in jail are the least lucky because they end up dead. That's a fact. And typically, they end up deceased to prevent the death and destruction and the torture of women and children and men that they are attacking. So, they can say, "Oh, I'm going to call on the Lord. The Lord is going to protect me." They do. They try to use Psalms 91, Psalms 104, and Psalms 40. You will not be protected when you are attacking the innocent. It doesn't matter if the woman comes from a bloodline of empaths, because mainly it's the empaths, it's the healers, it's the witches, right? They think, well, it says in the Bible, never suffer a witch to live. You're taking that out of context. That was that particular person in the Bible saying that when it came to his congregation. That doesn't apply universally. So basically, what that verse meant was that if the witch is within the congregation trying to take over or trying to run his show, then that is where, and they wasn't talking about just female witches either. They said witch, We can try to make the distinction between male and female, but let's face it, a lot of men, a lot of witches are men. That they're taking that out of context. And this is the reason why they're getting sicker and sicker, and why they die of congestive heart failure, kidney disease, all sorts of diseases, or they just die suddenly. And it is because they think that they can do whatever they want to do to defile the mind, the body, and the spirit. Here's another thing I want to kick some knowledge to y'all for. I think that people think that they're being smart whenever they say, oh, well, the body, your physical body is not spiritual. I heard somebody say that recently, that your physical body is not spiritual. Now, as a actual real life healer, I can promise you that that's not the truth, that that's a lie. Your body is the physical manifestation of spirit. So this is the reason why actual real life healers can make the distinction, including doctors. So let's not go there with the World Health Organization trying to flag somebody. Okay. So your body is a manifestation of spirit. So it is a part of it. The mind, the body, and the spirit are never disconnected. When you hear someone saying that they are purposely trying to disconnect your body from your spirit, right? They're trying to disconnect it. And so what they do is they say, oh, well, that's just the flesh. These sick people want to be able to violate the flesh, your physical body, all that they want. And they want you to separate it from who you are as a person. And it ain't going to work because it has nothing to do with universal law and laws of this earth and laws of nature. Okay? Your physical body is very spiritual. Your physical body is connected spiritually. And you know what? I would do a testament to that, but I'm going to make that a members only video because I've got some things that I want to talk about, because it's weird. It's not weird. It's just, it's miraculous. It's miraculous. It really is. So, listen. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay. Um, it's a way of tricking people. It's a huge trick. It's trickery. Okay. And so I want to just bring enlightenment to that. But going back to what I was saying, spirit is definitely connected to the physical body, which is why we know for a fact that men that decide to wake up every single day chasing and stalking, tormenting, doing wrong by trying to harm and abuse with an intention of using their energy, right, to hurt somebody, and literally not, constantly trying. And see, this is the reason why we give all that over. See what we did at the new year was we gave it all to La Santísima Muerta. We gave it to her. Let's let her deal with it. She gonna deal with them. She gonna deal with them. And we're not talking about all men, because what they try to do is they try to build armies against us by saying, oh, she's talking about all men. No, we're not. We love our men. We love our sons. We're talking about you types of men and the women that trail behind you. And Santa Martha is not going to take your offering. She's not. She's not going to listen to you. None of these goddesses. This is the reason why a lot of people got on that girl about accusing Hecate of sexual assault, because this is literally goddesses that protect women. Us women know throughout history that goddesses such as Hecate, Lilith, Santa Martha, a lot of the other ones that have called upon these goddesses have protected us from the woes and the perils of these evil males that we are dealing with. We have seen and witnessed the miracles. Now, Hecate ain't gonna do nothing to her, but Hecate is not gonna protect that girl when her Hecate has literally a billion followers are gonna attack that lady, and they will attack her. She's not gonna protect her from that. So it just is what it is, because she doesn't like people to speak negatively on her name, because Hecate would never condone nor would she facilitate the sexual assault of a woman or a child or a man or a man. So, see, they are fighting a losing battle while at the same time celebrating the few times where they've been able to do something. Is really, really sick. But from what I have seen, when women come to me, even men, because I have some of my male clients have had women that are like that are evil like that have worked with other men or women to attack them. But it's mainly women that I get that come across my desk and they're having a problem with a man, and those men usually end up in jail. Now, a praying mantis, I call them the praying mantises. It's harder to take them down. It just takes a little while longer, but you will be taken out if you're a man that is attacking a woman and her children, especially when that woman knows where to go. And a lot of these spirits that we have, these angels, these guardians, they act on behalf of the woman, of the person that needs protection without them even asking. Imagine having an agenda and a conspiracy. This is what I was saying to sis, what I was talking to Trinity about. What is going on with these groups of men? Now, as a practitioner, I've had black robes, red robes, white robes. They be having their black robes and stuff, and they be doing all their rituals, and their rituals don't mean nothing. You, as a man, are powerless 24/7. When you are violating a divine feminine, an anointed feminine. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about that. Okay. We are anointed through our ancestors. We are anointed through our cosmic connection. I'm not talking about that. Okay. You are powerless. Even when you got off some kind of grape or sexual assault to a woman, your goose is cooked, and it's nothing you can do about it. You can go with your rosary beads or even your elekis, and you can go to your altar while you are violating a woman and trying to take away her human rights and her liberations to move on and be happy in life with another man. Exactly. That is deserving, the man that she's meant to be with. You can do it 24 hours a day, and you can repeat Psalms 109, 91, 40, 44, 104, 41, and you still are going to end up where you end up. That's why that's see, I'm the type of person to where when you know something, when you have the gift of knowing, it irritates me when they, why are you still going through the rigmarole? You already know you lost. So why even go through the rigmarole? Why do they do that? That don't make no sense to me. That's stupid. But they do it anyway. So, and really what we got going on in social media is totally ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to these black and beef sectors and stuff like that. Spirit is now cracking down on the beef sector as well, because they have ignored them for too long. Okay. And, now that these sectors are merging, they've already merged. But this is just, they're not special. There's plenty of groups that are like that. Okay. And all of them are under fire for what you have been doing, and many of them have connections in drug undertakings. Some of them are even connected to organ harvesting, energy harvesting, sexual assault, trafficking, and things of that nature. And very dark natured things, and many of them frequent the dark web and all that stuff. All of those people will be dealt with. This is the year of the fire horse. Basically, it is an apocalypse for them. This is the year of the apocalypse for them. The rest of us will just go on living, especially if you're a person that may have mistakenly, gotten involved, even if you were participating in those kinds of activities, it's going to be God who's going to decide your punishment. But there's a lot of people that cleaned it up. These people that continue and go on and on and on and on and on, they are the damned. They are damned. They might as well be drinking corpse water. They might as well be drinking the water that comes off of the corpses when they clean the bodies in the morgue. They might as well just take a whole gallon of that and drink it every day, because that's exactly where they going. And you know what? Wow. And even what spirit is doing, because people like that are sick. They get a sick satisfaction of hurting people. Spirit is even taking that away from them. They will get no satisfaction. They will never feel right in their spirit. They will never have any peace. So I'm just letting y'all know. And they not good. They it's already hit them. It hit them months ago. It hit them in 2024 actually, and they just been running around back and forth, ripping and running, putting a band-aid over it, and they can't. The time has come. The time has come. Ever since that new year hit, that this is what it is. And you know what? For some of them, it's too late. Some of them, they'll run around here talking about Jesus is gonna save me. No, he ain't. He's not. He's not. You're kidding yourself. You're lying to yourself. You can't be saved by Jesus. You're beyond that. You're beyond help. What they need to do is just stop sexually assaulting. If a woman is not willing and she fighting you off and telling you to leave her alone, it's time for you to go. Okay? I know that for a fact. It just is what it is. And it's nothing that you can do about it. And you can read the Bible and say, well, it says in the Bible that we're going to be forgiven for violating a woman, and that, the only thing that we can do to violate the Lord is, what do they say? That the one thing, what's that one sin that people can't be forgiven for? But I'm going to tell you something. They're dropping like flies, and they will continue to drop like flies. Those prayers mean nothing. It doesn't. It would be different if you had stopped at I think that the cutoff point was probably 2020, honestly. But depending on what they've done, you never know what these people have actually done. This karma that they're running from, this punishment, this judgment, they praying all day and night, but that it's not gonna do them no good. It isn't. And so there is a point where they've done so much wrong that they'll decide, well, when they get really cowardly, they say, well, I'm gonna be a complete and total coward, and I'm gonna try to take the life of these people. And some of them might get away with it. Some of them might be able to get that off. But there are some people that are protected by very, very dark spirits that will make sure that not only them, but their hitmen will die, and they will never be heard of on this planet again. It depends on the person. I'm just telling you. There's I don't think that it's a sin for a person to want to protect their flesh and their health. People are striving at that every single day. I heard a story about a man that had to make a choice between paying his rent and buying his medication. Apparently his asthma medication had increased in price. And of course, you're going to pay your rent first. And he paid his rent, and he died a couple of days later because he couldn't afford to get his asthma medication. So this whole thing about the flesh not being important, the body not being important, we can pretty much throw all of that out with the bath water, because that ain't true. We have to look at reality here. Okay. So, and it just it is what it is. People's medications. I heard from somebody on TikTok that she has diabetes, and her medication increased from what, $30 to 150 because of Trump, because of his policies and stuff. So, and I'm not going to speak no more about that. Okay. Because as a healer, they don't like us. They don't like us very much. But it is what it is. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this out. Um, to the males and the females that are doing this degradation of any woman and doing all of this stuff, you're already defeated. Nobody has to suffer because you can't show humility and integrity and self respect and ethics. You not being able to show ethics and being able to watch your mouth, you are the only one that is going to suffer for your iniquities. There is no more scapegoating. There is no more sacrificing. This is raw meat. You are raw meat. That's it. Every time you try to instill fear into a woman or a child, every time you try to do harm, it is that fear is going to eat you alive. And that's a fact. Okay? And for every time you've done it, you've tried to put that fear, you've tried to put that stress, you've tried to put that pain and suffering on it. It's your thymus gland that's gonna go, that's gonna shrink. It's your heart that's gonna stop beating. That woman's heart is gonna be stronger and healed, especially if she's dealing with me. Them women and them children that you're trying to hurt, or either you trying to hurt her man that loves her, they're going to all be protected and healthy and happy and abundant and wealthy while you suffer and decay and go through desecration because you are desecrating yourself. End of story. And that is God's law. We're not talking about a book. I'm not trying to disrespect the Christian's holy Bible. I'm not. I swear to God, I'm not. I love everybody on this earth. But I'm just telling you that there is no out for them as far as the ones that are dirty. Okay, because I love Christians and people of every faith, Wiccans, Muslims. I have a love for everybody. Okay, and I understand deeply. I overstand and I get it. Okay, but I'm talking about the ones that that think they can violate and they hiding behind those things, you know what I'm saying? And there is no hiding. You are out in the forefront and there is no trickery. There will be no more fuckery. Okay. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. Make sure that y'all hit that thumbs up. Make sure that you share this, like, and subscribe. Okay. And I'll be seeing y'all. I got to go. Okay. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.